This is Chase Gore.
This is Chris Gore.
And this is the Andrews Mustang Slot Team Mafia Show, Episode 8. We're here live in studio, brought to you by Daniel Montoya with Monument Realty. Our backdrop here is brought to you by Nix and Nax, local business here in Andrews. And we are not affiliated with Andrews High School or Andrews Independent School District. We're going to go ahead and drop right into this next episode. We're going to do a quick recap of the Seminole game. Chris, do you want to go ahead and give your thoughts?
Yeah, it was the kids fought hard, made a game of it there in the second half, got our passing game going a little bit. I think kind of the same note that, similar to the week before and also against Monahan's, untimely penalties and turnovers really bit us. Like we've talked about in this offense, any offense, you're second and 20, third and 15, that's not good. But in a run-based offense, if you're behind the chains, it makes it that much harder. But, back to the drawing board Monday and get ready for Lubbock High Friday.
All right, we're going to go ahead and go over recap of Seminole is a loss. Seminole defeated Andrews 34-26. Total yards, Andrews had 240. Seminole had 257. Passing yards, Andrews had 88. Seminole had 177. Rushing yards on the night, Andrews had 152, and Seminole had 80. Fumbles, Andrews had 3 fumbles in the game, and Seminole had 3 fumbles and an interception. Penalties, Andrews had 13 penalties.
Yeah.
And compared to Seminole's 8 penalties. Passing on the night, Aiden Olivas was 2 for 4 for 88 yards, 2 touchdowns. Jayshawn DeBose, 21 carries for 69 yards. And Olivas also added 9 carries for 45 yards on the ground. Cade Adams had 1 catch for 64 yards and a touchdown. And Cole Iverson had a 1 catch for 24-yard touchdown. And then we got our shout-out section. So from us watching it in the booth, defensive line had a great game. All 3 starting defensive linemen, but Diego Peregrino was all over the place. He was unblockable.
A lot of big
plays. He had 5 tackles, 1 tackle for loss. Adolfo Valles had an interception, big interception in the second half to kind of got us. That was the spark. Then we kind of went on a little run there. Brady Kelly, I know he had a sack, tackle for loss. I think he had a strip fumble as well. That was a big play in the game. Yep. Might have had 2 of those maybe. Yep. Cooper Iverson also had a sack, tackle for loss, 1 fumble recovery. Dalen Jeffcoats, big play, had a chance to set the tone right there and thought we were going to. Had a big fumble return for a touchdown. And then in the second half, off a strip fumble, off a sack, Juan Hernandez picked one up, ran it back in, and that kind of started – a little comeback there, momentum in the second half. We're going to go ahead after this recap. We're going to go into looking ahead to next week. But in the Seminole game, really, the 1 fumble return for a touchdown, the blocked punt,
big,
and there was a muff punt. Really, defense played good enough to win the game. I also want to give a shout out to the Mustang defense and defensive coordinator. Great game plan. Saw some, I don't know what the terminology is nowadays. Back in the day, we used to call them zone blitzes. You get all 7 guys up there. It looks like everybody's coming. Boom, you drop back to the curl.
That quarterback's
got to hold the ball. He doesn't know what to do. Here comes Sac City, USA.
The defense played great Friday night for sure.
Defense played phenomenal. And we're hoping yet to see
a
4-quarter game, but hopefully.
I think we're going to do it Friday night.
We're going to go ahead and move into what we're going to call this the get right game.
Yep.
Andrews heading down to Lubbock High. So I'm going to go ahead. Lubbock High offense had 8 returning starters, 7 defensive returners from a 2-8 team from last year. Players to watch on their team. We've actually seen them on film. Me and Chris have. The 2 that really stood out to me was Taj Whitfield. He's a defensive lineman. He looks like a running back or receiver.
Athletic
kid. The kid is really tall, lanky, super fast, just a really good athlete. And they have a running back / wide receiver named Markel Wynn. And it's kind of every game he'll have that one big play where he just like breaks one, and then the rest of the game he's a little bit silent. So those are two guys we have to look out for. Their head coach, Juan Rodriguez, they run the spread offense. Defense is a base 3-4. Chris, what are your thoughts on this game this Friday?
Well, like you said, Chase, I think it's a get-right game. This is a game where, like we've talked about, we haven't seen it yet this year. Hopefully the Mustangs can put two halves together, play 4 full quarters. We watched Lubbock High. They're not real physical. They do have some athletes kind of scattered around the roster. So they are dangerous, but I really think this is a get-right game Friday night, and I'm looking forward to it. I think it's going to be a big ball game for the Mustangs.
I'm going to be interested to see. I know last week, I'm not sure what they call it nowadays, but Seminole come out in a 6-2 defense.
Yep.
So I'm interested to see the rest of the way if all these other teams are going to come out in the 6. We used to call it a 6-2 defense back in the day. I'm sure they got some fancy other term that they use for it now, but it's a straight 6-2, 4 down linemen, 2 dogs standing up on the outside, 2 inside linebackers. You have 2 corners, and you got a safety over the middle.
Yeah, and I think we talked about that. I think we've had a lot of success running the ball this year, and I think Seminoles coach kind of said, okay, if you beat us throwing, that's fine, but you're not going to beat us. You're not going to rush for 400 yards. And as successful as we've been in the slot T this year, I really think that we're going to see 7, 8, 9 men in the box. 4, 5, 6 guys up on the line of scrimmage. But the coaches will get there and figure it out. And
one big takeaway I like is first week didn't complete any passes.
Right.
The second week we hit our it was actually the third game, right?
Yep.
We hit a touchdown pass. Yep. This week we come out
2
and hit 2. Would have had possibly 3. There was a sack hit where Jay Sean was streaking. So one positive that I'll take moving into this week is every week we've passed a little bit better.
Absolutely.
A little bit better.
Passing games start to come along, yeah.
So here's a little nugget for everybody. So all-time record between Lubbock High and Andrews. Andrews leads the series 7 wins to 3 and 1 tie. And the rivalry actually started in the 50s and then went away for very many years.
Long time.
And then kind of came back here. It was kind of hot and heavy there in the 90s and then come back again here recently. Another little nugget information. 30 years ago in 1992-93 season, at Lowry Field, Andrews Mustangs defeated Lubbock High 54-13. And that year, Lubbock High had this supposed all-world running back named Lester Lawrence. And anyway, Andrews on that game held Lubbock High to negative 26 yards rushing for the game.
I was at that game.
And so that's just a little extra. I try to throw a little bit of history in there every now and then. All right, next section of the show, we're gonna go ahead and go in our 4A Division I Region 1 poll. It's the Gore poll, and we still got holding at number 1. We have Decatur.
Did they win Friday?
They did win Friday.
They beat Pampa. That's right.
And beat Pampa
56-0.
Brownwood comes in at number 2. Lubbock Estacada is at number 3. Hereford now 4-0. They come in at number 4.
Tip your hat to Hereford.
Canyon High School comes in at number 5. Canyon Randall moves up to number 6. Mineral Wells now is number 7.
Are they still undefeated?
I believe they're 3-1.
3-1.
Springtown now is 2-2. They move up to number 8. They defeated a good team Friday night.
Yeah.
Andrews moves down to the number 9 spot. And Dumas at 1-3 though, they still come in at number 10.
Yeah.
So
trying to put it together.
The next section, we're going to move into our pick'ems. Me and Chris on the year are 14 wins and 5 losses.
Not bad.
We're tied up, and we're going to go ahead and go into the picks this week. Chris, we have Big Spring at Snyder.
Big Spring's been taking it on the chin. Was Sweetwater beat them? What is it, 50-33? We saw Big Spring play Lubbock High actually a few weeks ago. Snyder's more of a. I think they're more physical. They try to line up and run the ball. Are they playing at Snyder?
At Snyder.
I'm going to say Snyder by 7.
And I've got Snyder by 1 point. The game number 2, I got Waco Connolly at Brownwood.
Should be a heck of a game. I think Brownwood beat them last year, but Connolly's got a lot of athletes. That's a tough one because you
If
don't.
I remember, Connolly, though, didn't have their quarterback last year.
Correct. It's in Brownwood.
It is at Brownwood.
I'm going to say the Lions by 14.
And I've got Waco Connolly on the upset by 7 points.
I hope you're right.
All right, game number 3. I got Levelland at Lakeview, the battle of the beasts.
Yeah, the beast battle. They're all struggling. It's in San Angelo. Let's see, Estacada beat Levelland 62-9. Lakeview, who beat them last week? Somebody beat them bad again. It's in San Angelo. I'm going to go with the Chiefs by 10.
And I've got Levelland winning it by 6 points.
Oh, gosh.
And then this is the game that we're going to be watching on TV tomorrow night. We have West Plains at Estacado.
Yeah, that's going to be a heck of a ball game. We've seen both of those teams play. Gosh, that's going to be a really entertaining game. I'm going to say West Plains by 10.
I've got West Plains by 7. And then game number 5, we're going to move up big boy ball, something fun. We're going Permian at Abilene Cooper.
Permian's 2-2. They got beat last weekend. I think Cooper's 1-3. You know what? I'm going to go with the Cooper Cougars by 3 points.
I've got Cooper by 3 points. That's what I have.
I hope they beat
in
them
Abilene. All right. So that's going to be due with the pick'em section. And here, when we come back in just a minute, we're going to start with our live interviews here in the studio. All right, we're live here in the studio with Adolfo Valles, Andrews Mustang safety. Adolfo, good to have you on the show. Thank you for coming.
Thank you for having me.
I would like you to let everybody know what is your number and what position that you play.
I'm number 10, and I'm a safety.
All right. And we're going to go ahead and dive into the questions. My favorite question, who is your favorite football player of all time?
My favorite football player of all time is Devontae Adams.
All right, now describe him to me. Tell me why he's your favorite player.
He's my favorite football player because his route running is, I think it's lethal, and it's just very good.
I tell you what, he was there for a couple of years. He was the cowboy killer. I tell you what, and a very good player, tall, rangy, lengthy, fast, very good player. All right, we're going to go ahead and dive into the Mustang questions, and I want you to, I'm going to rephrase this question now that we're almost mid-season. I want you to tell me someone that you think will surprise people or someone on the team that you think really makes a big impact on the team that might not always get a lot of recognition.
I think someone that's made an impact is probably Colton Stewart. Like, he gets his reps and comes in, and he gets the job done when he can.
And Colton Stewart, go ahead and let everybody know what position he plays.
He's an outside backer.
He's an outside backer. And he actually had, I think it was the Greenwood game. I think he got hurt, didn't he? Or had not a major injury, but didn't he get a little bit banged up a little bit?
I think that was Brady.
Was that
was Brady.
number 6?
Oh, wait, no, yeah, 6.
And had an excellent game. He was all in the backfield, chased him around, had a really good game. Good kid, good parents, and kids works hard. Go ahead, and I want you to tell me what your personal goal is for the season, and tell me what your team goal is for the season.
My personal goal is probably just to make first team all district on defense, and the team goal is just to get on the winning track and keep winning some games.
We have a big opportunity with Lubbock High, Canyon, Lakeview coming up to get stack one and stack another and stack another. I like the way that you're thinking. Defense is playing lights out. Every week the defense has gotten better and better and better. Keep them going. Keep them working hard. You're having a good season.
Sir.
Appreciate you on the show, man. Take care. All right, folks, we're back here live in the studio with interview number 2. I've got Andrews Mustang, Dalen Jeffcoats. Dalen, glad to have you on the show. Thank you for coming on. Can you tell everybody out there, give them your number and what position that you play?
I'm number 8, and then I play inside backer.
And I want you to tell me who is your favorite football player of all time, and tell me why.
It's going to have to be Ray Lewis. This was before he came to Andrews. He's coming to Andrews. He's just really electric on the field. He brings the energy, and he just, lets them know that he's there.
You know the term that they use, field general? Sometimes that's kind of thrown around, but when you think of field general, that's him. He is it. He gets everybody going. He gets everybody in the right place, and the guy is just he's a good guy, but then you get on the field and the guy's mean and nasty, and he can play some ball, and probably the best middle linebacker of all time. And very good choice, very good choice. So I want you to give me someone on the team that you think might surprise people, or someone on the team that makes a big impact kind of behind the scenes that doesn't get a lot of credit.
I'm going to have to say Cooper Iverson. I mean, everyone knows his name, but, like, he came back from being injured, and he just hit the field hard. And last week against Seminole, he had a lot of sacks, and he was back in the backfield every drive, play.
I tell you what, you guys are replacing some really good linebacking core that was here last year. But I tell you what, you guys are looking good, super fast. You guys are fast. And all of y'all are long, rangy, can move, you're quick, you're fast. You're having a very great season. And Cooper is a really good kid. And known him since they moved here, played with my son, and very good ball player. And he's real quiet. Doesn't say a whole lot, but he kind of leads by example. So what is your personal goal, and what is your team goal for this season?
My personal goal is probably first team all district. Just show that I'm there for a reason, and then as a team, try to be district champs. It's gonna be hard, you know. We're not very liked, I guess. We're always like picked to lose, but we can do it.
And anything's possible. You got to believe in the system. You got to work hard, and you're doing a great job. You're having a great season. You should have heard me and my brother on the live stream going crazy whenever you ran the ball in, and we appreciate it. Thank you for giving us something to holler about, and we know you're going to have a good season. Got to keep the defense going, keep them prepared, keep them rolling. Appreciate you coming on the show, bud.
Thank you for having me.
All right, we're back here live in the studio with interview number 3. We got Jayshawn DeBose, running back for the Andrews Mustangs. Go ahead and let everybody know what number you are and what position you play.
I'm number 38, and then I play two-back, which is also running back for this offense.
Well, we appreciate you coming here and interviewing with us. Appreciate it very much. All right, so this is my favorite question. So tell me who your favorite football player of all time is, and tell me why.
I like Bijan Robinson. He's just so energetic, and when he gets on the field, he can outmaneuver anyone he wants to. And I really base my game around him.
He's a very good player, and he's already making an impact. And I believe they're 2-0. Atlanta Falcons are 2-0, and had a great career at the University of Texas. Well, let's go ahead and dive into the Mustang questions. I want you to give me either someone that you think is under the radar, it's going to surprise people, or someone on the team that you think is makes a big impact, but is kind of quiet and behind the scenes.
I think Caden Mendoza makes a big impact on the team. Even though he's injured right now, he still busts his butt every play and tries to make everyone better by competing the hardest he can.
Always staying involved, and oh yeah, good kid, very good kid. So what is your personal goal and what is your team goal for this season?
My personal goal is beating the rushing yards this season, and my team goal is to be district champs at the end of the season.
All right, and I have a little nugget here that I had to pull out. So some of y'all know, some of you don't know. So Jayshawn's uncle, I played ball with and graduated with, and 30 years ago this season, Kevin Lawrence, his uncle, rushed for 1,633 yards and 16 touchdowns. And Jayshawn, do you know where you're sitting at yardage-wise right now?
I don't.
You don't? Okay. Well, as of right now, he's unofficial about 800 yards in 4 games. So you're a little bit under halfway there. And you still got so I just want to throw that little nugget out there. Kevin is a really good friend of mine. Played ball with him, went to battle many wars with him, and so I just wanted to throw that out there and maybe give Jayshawn a little incentive to catch Uncle, and give him a little bragging rights at home. So, Jayshawn, we appreciate you coming on, having a great season. Got to get these boys, keep them focused, keep them going, and We just got to, hey, stack one game at a time, stack another. Let's go down tomorrow, and I say let's rush for 500 or 600 yards on the Westerners.
Yes, sir.
All right, appreciate you, bud.
Appreciate you.
All right, everybody, this is going to wrap up episode 8 of the Andrews Mustangs Slot Team Mafia show. I want to say thank you to my co-host.
Yes, sir.
And appreciate it being here. I wanted to let everybody know that Friday, Andrews will be playing Lubbock High at Lowry Field in Lubbock at 4 p.m. They have to, due to the lack of stadiums there in as many schools, they have to go a 4 and 8 o'clock game. So Andrews will be playing up there at 4 o'clock. Me and Chris will be up in the booth. We're going to be live streaming the action. And it's going to be on our Facebook page, Andrews Mustang Slot Team Mafia. It'll also be on Mike Hudson's YouTube page, M&M Creations. And before we go live, I'll make sure I post that on our Facebook. So everybody, if you can't get it on Facebook and you want to go get it on YouTube, you can. You can also go back anytime after the fact, and you can go watch the replay of the game. And you can also interact with me and Chris. We always like to have some fun. And we wanted to special thanks to Daniel Montoya with Monument Realty. None of this would be even possible if he did. I mean, lets us use the studio, and top notch. And then our backdrop here is by Nix and Nax here in Andrews. And I wanted to say also that we're not affiliated with Andrews Independent School District or HS. And remember, folks, it's always a great day to be a Mustang.